Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to
Hello out
live
there,
class
everybody.
tonight. Live class tonight. Glad you're here with us. And I hope you've had a good day so far. And I hope you've had a good week so far since we only seen you since haven't seen you since Sunday.
That's the truth.
So I hope you had a good Monday and day today. But we had a pretty good day today. It's been kind of slow around here though.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of slow.
a little bit slow.
Mm-hmm. Hadn't done much. Walked the dog a couple of times today, and uh, really didn't do much. I didn't.
Mm.
Hmm. I'm trying to think. What did I do today? Didn't do much of anything, did we?
Sit right here.
Didn't do much of anything today. But anyway, we're here, live and in color, and this is, of course, Cornerstone Live Class. And we're here for another wonderful conversation. Let's see whether we can find out who came in tonight. See who's here. Let's see. There is my sweetie pie, Sinette. We've been missing you too, honey bun. I've been thinking about you, and oh, I'm so glad to see you on here tonight.
She made it,
Welcome,
didn't she?
welcome, 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 sweetheart. I am glad to see your name in here tonight. To know that you're listening in and watching us, and I
There's
hope
old
hope
Norman
things are
J
going
back
well
there with
in
us,
Denmark.
ain't he?
There's brother-in-law and sissy,
Norman back with
and
us.
Norman J. Hidball. Hickbar,
Hit
as
my
you as
short,
you always
hook
call him,
my short britches.
Pastor Norman. And there's Sandra. Hey, Sandra.
Sandra
And Deb. Good
Lee,
afternoon, Sandra. And John Greason's in the house again.
Grayson Motorcycle Man. There's Linda
Sister
Lee,
Sharon's here. Sister Sharon
Sharon
is here.
Hurston,
And Linda Langdon is in the
Linda
house tonight.
the dog lady.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, guys. I'm glad you're in here with us tonight. Mm-hmm. I know it's going to be good. Whatever we do is going to be good tonight. It's going to be good. And let's see. Let's see what I want to start off with. Let's do our affirmation, meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it, just to center ourselves and bring ourselves into a place of absolute reception to that God wants to relay to us and convey to us tonight. And we just go in. I go in. I leave the world of the senses and I go in. I give thanks to thee, O God, for your existence and for my existence. I give thanks to thee, O God, for your presence. I give thanks to thee, O God, for this awareness, for the awareness of my existence. And I surrender the illusion of being a personal self. I am a portal of consciousness streaming down through the crown chakra into this form. I am a continuous stream, never static, a download from higher dimensions. It is what I am. I am a light stream blowing through this mortal flesh, an immortal essence, life, being. As I flow into this body, I am experienced as an individual. Through many expressions such as writings and sayings and laughter, facial expressions, thoughts and feelings. Yet there is no person here. that possesses these qualities. For I am purely a stream of unconditioned consciousness. There is, in fact, no person here to attract or to project, just the stream, a flow of pure light and awareness. I am the one who looks for another and finds itself. I is this stream of unconditioned consciousness and the carrier of revelations and insights. This is a clear indicator of what I truly am. I stream through this mind. I stream through this body until such time as this mind and body no longer functions. I appear to others as conditioned awareness, leaving the impression of a person that others think I am. That which is left after this body dies will be evidence that this portal was once open, and I flowed into this earth existence. Premeditation and thinking only serve to veil my essence. I, as the flow, never cease. And I am often thought to be solid matter. Others looking on may think that everything originates from me as a person. But there is no person to claim what comes forth as the stream. The stream is pure and gentle and free and clear. I am pure, gentle, free, and clear. It has no shape, but it can appear to take shape. I have no shape, but I appear as a shape. What I truly am is veiled by my own appearing. This unconditioned consciousness is the only reality. And so it is. That felt good. Good afternoon, Dee Dee and George. Good
George
afternoon,
Jr.
Catherine. Good afternoon, Jonathan. I'm glad you're here. And thank you for the love offering you gave on Sunday. Thank you
That
so
was
much.
a real gift.
Hello,
Thank you.
Jill. Good afternoon, sweetie pie. And Pearl just slipped in here
Miss
too.
Pearl May and Jill May.
Glad you guys tuned in. Glad
Jonathan
you
Lee.
tuned in.
Mhm.
That felt good to me. That meditation and affirmation felt good to me. I hope it felt good to you too.
It did.
Mhm.
Okay. The language of the spirit is vibrational frequencies without words. So when it said in the book that the world was created by the word, it was not done by language that we seem to think that says, let there be.
There was no language.
There was no language then.
Yeah. So what language did God use to say
He didn't,
light be?
he didn't say.
He could not have used
wasn't
any
like-
language.
The mind has determined that it was the King James Version, or it was
or English,
or English,
or Aramaic,
Aramaic.
which none of that
None of
existed.
that
Yes,
existed.
exactly.
Nope.
And you started off saying that it is vibrational
It was by sound vibration, but that could not be heard with the physical ears
as a language.
as a language
Yes,
or a verbal mouth movement.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Boy, I like that.
Yes, yes.
All spirit beings communicate like this.
Yes. So we speak that way. When we're not using language, we
Yeah.
are still speaking with the vibration.
Now it goes back again, and I don't mean to be redundant and a little messy with this, but when I was talking about fragrance and smell, that's the same communication that we're talking about now with vibrational frequencies that communicate with us without mouth movement.
That there are things that are emanating from
That's emanating
us as a
that's
being.
right. That's
yes,
right.
Yes.
And that's the way we communicate with our animals, dog, and everything. And to them, to the spirit beings, this vibration frequency is words.
Yes. Yes.
They are statements that are made without lip movement.
Statements without language.
Without language. That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
God is so everything that he's like nothing, or that he's like not anything that words can describe.
Yes.
Whoa.
So it actually, God, spirit, all of that, even our being is beyond words, isn't it?
That's right.
It's beyond
And listen
words.
to this. In order for guidance to be appropriated, not anything in in this life has to be changed.
True. True.
Now I wrote that down in my note, because eternal beings move in a different way, and what the enlightened one and the awakening one will eventually come to see is that why I'm trying to say all this in one breath.
Da-da-dee, da-da-da.
Chibby. And I mean, this is, I'm sitting around, I'm watching television, and I'm talking, and this stuff just keeps coming, and it's clearer to me now than it ever have been.
Mm-hmm.
And we seem to think that if we carry a book around and a piece of paper and notes, and when we see somebody, this is what we're going to say to them. Mm-hmm. That's not the way spirit communicate.
So the downloads, or I should say revelations, come to us intuitively.
Yeah.
Through our intuition. So there's this inherited intuitive ability that we all have, which is the portal for revelation for us.
If you ever have communication from your eternal essence, if it's anything that has to be explained, is because the mind stepped in there and tried to translate it without it's not a without, it's just that the mind was not designed. And in the book it said the mind is very unfruitful.
Yeah.
And it's not given unto the smart and the wise, in the sense of intellect.
Right.
It's like children communicating, and we often talk about cooing.
Mm-hmm.
And out of the 50 years that we've been into this, I never would have thought that God is speaking 24/7, but not with lip movement.
Right.
The walk of the spirit, the walk of the enlightened light beings, is a different, a different captain or a different general. It's a different position, but it's not a positionality of the ego.
Yes.
Communication with God rules out all ego.
Yes. Linda has a comment.
Yes.
Linda says our ears, mind translate vibrations and frequencies into words and sounds. Yes. I'm not sure words really exist. It's just a perception.
Look out, girl.
Thank you,
I'm going to
Linda.
tell the
Thank
boss man to
you.
give you a
Thank you.
raise.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
exactly what I'm trying to say.
Now, in this book that I've been reading, he said here in the foreword, in the introduction, I should say, he said that what he was going to do was to offer the world an intuitionally perceived spiritual interpretation
Ooh.
of the words that were spoken by Jesus.
That's the word.
Yes.
And you can't preach this.
Intuitionally perceived spiritual interpretation of the words spoken by Jesus. And that's really the only way you can understand anyone that's speaking from that mystical place.
Now listen to this. Something has got it in our head that if God is with us, we're supposed to have some kind of sign,
evidence
that he's with us. But here's what I wrote here. Nothing has to be explained for us to be infinite.
Yes. Yes.
It is a knowing that reaches beyond reasoning.
Yes.
It is a knowing that even stillness does not try to explain.
It's called a soul awakened intuitive perception.
I guess you can say it like that.
Yes.
We don't have to be in or out of the will of God to be one with him, or what God is. We don't have to be in or out of the will or a purpose set for us to be one with God. Right. Not anything has to change.
Right.
I like that. I could just sit down in a tub of hot, warm water and just soak in this, because I feel and I sense as this. I call it feeling, the best I can describe. What is so releasing, so freedom. Don't have to bake a cake. Don't have to prepare a meal. Don't have to be in a certain mode. Don't have to be living right or wrong to be one with God.
True. Nothing has to be different at all.
For better or worse, sickness and health or death do you part. Do you take this man or woman to be your lawful wedded wife or husband, and you say, I do? You don't know down the road, you might, what you said, no, I don't. But at that moment, you did, you will, and you do, and you have, and that's all it takes. You don't have to know no more than what you've spent 30 days to 2 years or 3 years to understand about them. You just, the man said, do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, so fix me, God, so help me, God. You say, yeah. Did you shoot that man? No. Then they find out that you did it. Then you lie. You can lie, you can tell the truth, but it will not change the fact. You can read the Bible or not believe it. You can believe that God is real or not real. You're not going to disturb the infinite side of yourself.
True.
Or your eternal self.
True.
That's what I like about that. Because see, we've been bamboozled, the mind of bamboozled itself that make us think that when you come to God, or can you really come to God? All I know we did was something woke up, something awareness took place.
Before you have an intuitive revelation of who and what God is, yes, you will think you're coming to God. And yes, you will think God is coming and going. But that is not actual.
That's right.
That's just because your eyes have been blinded to what is real and what is true. So when you have had that awakened intuitive perception, then you perceive that there is no way you can move from God or to God, because God is moving as you move. So there's no way to move away from God. If I move away from God, or if I move toward God, it doesn't matter.
Oh my. To be all that God is and all that God wants you to be, and to have everything that you think that God wants you to have, and to believe that you got to be in a certain place to get it, all of it is washed away when you find out that God is not restricted by any change, any attitude.
Yes.
To me, this is I'm gonna tell you,
it's very simple, really. It's very simple.
I can't believe I'm talking like this. I
But
can't believe it's just so simple.
But we're speaking from a place of revelation. What has been revealed to us, what has been revealed, you now see, and when you speak from your seeing, it's gonna sound that way. It's gonna feel that way.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about while you were talking how most of us live. How do I want to put? We live as if we are prisoners of our bodies. And we live as if we are prisoners of our feelings and our thoughts. And because of that, we're taken hostage many times. That pure self that we are is taken hostage many times because of the cares of this life. The cares of this physical life takes us hostage, and then it is then that we for the moment, for a time, for a brief period, forget what we are and what and who God is and where God is, and it takes sometimes a jolt in order to shock us out of that intoxication. And so I think the prayer that the majority of us have in this community, in this spiritual community, is, when am I going to stop becoming intoxicated with the cares of this life?
I remember my mom, we talked about it the other night. She had at 96, she had a time trying to let go of this world.
Yes.
She had a time trying to let go of her house, her clothes, and what little she had accomplished and worked so hard for. Nobody
that she
gave
had
her
really
anything.
A strong attachment to.
She did. She really did.
Yes.
But then I saw God take her out of all attachments.
And it were things that she was attached to that gave her self-worth.
Without her permission.
Gave her validation. Gave her a sense of accomplishment. Gave her a sense of purpose. So it was difficult to let go of those things.
Yep. And my sister left this world holding on to things, and I mean, I saw my mama struggle with it. You saw it. You were with us in the room. She struggled with it until that last breath, and she was taken. I saw when she was taken completely.
It was a hard journey for her. To begin to let go and surrender. Jill said it's the addictive juice of life that most people struggle with. And that's exactly right. And
it will happen to all of us in these bodies.
And in these sessions that my sweetie pie here and I do,
sweetie pie?
Yeah, your sweetie pie.
Oh,
your sweetie pie tonight.
Me.
These sessions are to remind you. They're simply to remind you, to bring you back around to knowing who you are. That's all we ever do. That's all it ever is, and to begin to accept the ups and the downs of that intoxication with the life, the juice of life, as Jill said, to the point that you realize that even when you are heavily in the throes of it, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in the sense of your connection, your oneness with God, your status. Nothing has changed. Only thing that's changed is your feelings and your mind, which always changes.
And what we're talking about tonight, as we always, is called collapsing the distance between God and us and everything.
Once the eyes are open, truth is seen.
You know what is so amazing about what we've been talking about is that we are refreshed by our own conversation about these things.
Yes, we are. That's true.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, people of light beings, I don't see right now anything any better than what we're talking about in these
Yes,
classes.
yes.
I just it is so 1 minute, 1 second, it seems like it's so exhilarating, so amazing, and the next minute you sit around and wonder, something wonders. That song said,
How I
"How
got
I got
over.
over,
I knew you were gonna say
how I
that.
got
I
over."
knew you were gonna say that.
What is something to say? Something what?
My
Tell me.
soul looks back and wonders how I got over.
My soul is what?
My soul looks back.
My soul what? My soul looks back and wonder
How I
how I got over.
Yes.
Mm.
You gonna sing it? Are you gonna sing it?
You want to sing it for me?
No, I
You
don't
want
want
to
to
sing
sing
it.
it. I don't want to sing it.
Oh,
Linda
no.
says, today I thought of another clue.
Go ahead, girl.
We are not our thoughts.
Oh,
Amen, girl. Amen.
You mean
She said, when you get a song stuck in your head all
Yes,
day
yes.
that's driving you crazy
Yes.
and you can't quit hearing it.
Oh, I didn't think you. I didn't think we anybody else was like
And
that but
if
us.
you were your thoughts, you could stop it.
Oh, you done let the cat out the bag, Miss Linda. I'm gonna tell the boss
Look,
man
I've
on
been
you.
saying for weeks and months, I am not my thoughts. I am not my opinions. I've been saying it for months, but then you got the revelation today.
Now we go back to the child, the Christ child has always been this way. And all of a sudden we find out, may take a while, but we find out that this Christ child was the child that grew up with all these conditionings and never 1 second had left the true identity that it was.
Right. Now I wanted to say, Linda's been hearing this
Yes.
for months and probably
Yes.
years before she even
Yes.
got to us.
Yes.
But what she had today was an intuitive revelation.
I call it a refresher.
And now that you have had that intuitive revelation and not just learned it and remembered it as information, but is now intuitive revelation, you see it, not just remember it. You actually see it. And what you see, you cannot unsee. You cannot unsee.
Can you imagine, Pastor Norman, you're standing up, or any of you other little Normans out there, Kelly Dixon and James Dixon, you have to preach somewhere and you go in there and speak. And my sermon today is stillness, quietness.
And stillness speaks.
Yes, stillness speaks. And another part of my sermon tonight is going to be traveling without moving.
Okay.
Traveling without moving.
All right.
And speaking without being verbal. And stand right there for 3 hours. And don't, well, just say 30 minutes.
1 hour.
Or just say 1 hour.
Yeah.
Just stand right there and just look at them. Now, do you, you know what? Yeah, I wish I could do that.
What?
Just give it a shot, go somewhere and speak and don't say one verbal word.
Well, you probably could, but you're probably the only one there for a while, after a while. or they'd sit there and go to sleep while waiting on you.
Somebody tell me something. This stuff is real.
The reason why I say that is there's some sages that you can look at on YouTube, and they start their sessions off with stillness.
Yeah.
And while you're sitting, I know there's one in particular, Muji, he'll start us off with stillness a lot of times, and you'll think that the thing is frozen. You'll think the picture's frozen because he'll sit there so still.
That's right.
And I have caught myself trying to run it forward because I thought the picture was, and I didn't want to wait.
In the
and there was something here that just didn't want to wait. It didn't want to wait for it. That's something.
hey, that is the truth. Now, Miss Sandra, we've been preaching this for quite some time.
I've been doing it in the meditation almost every time we come together. When I say, I am not my thoughts.
The greatest
and you
prayer.
guys repeated it behind me. I am not my thoughts. But
and you know what?
But again, I want to say this. This isn't this isn't a negative for what Linda said at all, because it's great that now she's seen it for herself through her own inner discovery, through her own intuitive wisdom. Now it doesn't have to be repeated to her. She'll know it without anybody ever
We'll
saying.
go in a restaurant and you look around and see how many people sitting at the table, even 3 or 4 in a family sitting there, and they ain't said a word to each other, but they talking on a computer,
on the phone,
on the phone,
on the phone,
and ain't
yes.
said nothing.
Right.
When they didn't have a phone, what did they do? Some of them sat there and made noise, babies crying, and they sit
talked.
there and
They
talked.
talked and communicated. Yes.
Communication skills in this finite world is being tragically wiped out.
Yes. Now, don't get on your soapbox.
No, I ain't getting on the box. I'm just telling you that real communication with God is so absolutely phenomenal that when you sit there and then when you, I tell you what, didn't we hear about Oprah one time went on a word fast or something like that? She went to a camp.
She went on a silent retreat.
A silent retreat.
Mm-hmm.
How many days did they go?
Don't remember exactly. Don't quote me. I think she said it was a 5-day retreat.
Can you imagine going around?
But she said the first couple of days without speaking, she said it was torture. It was torture because she said no one could speak, and yet your mind wanted to talk so bad. And she said for the first couple of days it was just torture. And she said, but by the third day, nobody had to communicate anything through verbal language, and yet they all would end up at the cafeteria at the same time.
Do you remember when our dating days we didn't have much to say to each other?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to say. we weren't talking about we weren't talking about bills. We weren't talking about what I'm going to wear to work or what I'm
I tell you what we said. I call you at work from work around 7, but my lunch break or my
we just
break,
wanted to hear each other breathe.
I always say, I love you. I love you too. Yesterday while we there,
what you doing?
What you? That's when do it. What you do?
What you do? But that
and then when we went out somewhere, we were too busy hugging and kissing and slobbing on each other.
Yeah. We didn't have time to converse.
And we don't really, we really don't talk much now.
Oh, we do.
I ain't said nothing to you today.
Oh.
You said me, what we gonna cook? I ain't said nothing to you about it. I said, well, I don't know, baby.
We talk all day long.
Now,
unless we're in 2 parts of the house, then we don't.
You said I talk too much in my sleep. My mouth be working while my mind sleeping.
Now Sandra says that. Now let's get off of that because we be cutting up. And we won't say nothing else. Sandra says she said she's been hearing us say this about the thought. She said, but what Linda said at the end caused a light to come on for her, and so that's good. That's a revelation. What you laughing at?
What John Grecian said.
Yeah, he just wanted some sugar. Exactly. I know. And then you get that sugar forever.
Yeah.
And then you said, I got sweet bubbles. I don't want no more sugar. Anyway, come off of that now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the light came on for Sandra at the end of what Linda said, which means revelation. It
became a revelatory knowing.
Yes. And that's
insight.
That's pretty much what we've been saying.
That's right.
In order to get this, really get it, it has to be a revelatory seeing.
Go to the light. Don't go to any other sound or distractions. If I was to turn this picture off on the screen would still be there. And when I turn it back on, an addendum been added to the screen, such as pictures. But nothing has changed about who we are beyond, above, an expanded version of us has not changed one bit because of the screen or the picture. You have never been the screen. You've never been the picture. You've never been that image. You're beyond anything on the screen. You're not anything at all on the screen. That's the truth.
Yes.
Now, I am so grateful that you guys have pulled this stuff up out of us today. That's the truth. That's the truth. Now, the way, the truth, and the life and the light is what we all are made out of. you keep seeing these things. And Miss Linda, here my cousin just come up. See, she comes up.
Baby
She just
girl.
has to get a chin scratch and listen to us talk. This is the baby girl. This is my sugar. Baby girl she's been coughing at night, and we've been up with her. And this has been a real treat for us for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
A real treat.
Yeah, real treat because it gets our mind on speaking to her and her speaking to us out of her reactions and emotions. And we understand exactly what she's saying. And that's the way we see with each other. The more you go into this, the deeper you go into it, the easier it's going to be to understand what Jesus meant when he said he knew what they reasoned in their heart before they said anything through vibration communication. Okay.
I want to read a couple of things out of this book. And again, it is out of, I don't know if I should tell you guys about it. Sometimes it's controversial for some of you guys who are still in the box, but here it is. It's called The Second Coming of Christ. And it's by Yogananda, who felt it was his life's mission to interpret what Jesus' words were, because he started having personal encounters with Jesus as the Christ. And so this is what it came out of it. So I'm going to read just a little bit for just a little bit of this. He says, aeons past, in ancient higher ages, in India, there were the manifestation of divine beneficence of God with us in terms of divine incarnations and avatars. God incarnate on earth in enlightened beings. That's what avatars are.
Okay.
It's God incarnate on earth in enlightened beings. The eternal, omnipresent, unchanging spirit has neither a corporeal nor heavenly form called God. So there's no form with God as the absolute, nor as the Lord God creator does he fashion a form in which he then dwells among his creatures. Rather, he makes himself known through the divinity in worthy instruments. Many are the voices that have intermediated between God and man, which are avatars, are incarnations in God-knowing souls. So when anyone is being presented to someone else and they're hearing God speak through and by that person, or revelation comes to them through the voice or the words of that person, that person has become then the incarnation of God, an expression of God, an oracle of God, just as what Sandra said about the last part of what Linda said. Linda at that moment became the avatar.
That's right. This good stuff, ain't it?
Yes.
Look, sit down and get you a good old hot cup of coffee or hot chocolate and take your time and just meditate on these things that we're talking about and have a little talk with God inside you.
Yes.
And let your infinite self deliberately know. Of course, he knows with or without this, but it ain't nothing like the real thing. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell said that in a song. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. But now, once you do this, I can promise you that there's a flow in God without any feeling. There's a knowing in God without reading. There's a place in God without being placed. There's a walk with God without taking a step. There's a seeing God without eyes and without sight. But it's an inside. I call it an inside deal.
Okay.
that is absolutely breathtaking.
Catherine says, please share that book with us. I just did, Catherine. I'm not going to do it anymore. This is it. This is it. See,
Let us see
and
some of
the
it.
reason why, Catherine, I'm reluctant to do it is because there are those who listen to us who are churched within the confines of religion and who have a problem with anything that is outside of what is biblical.
Biblical,
And so I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to push them away simply because they
Mm-hmm.
can't handle where we're getting information
Mm-hmm.
from, or where we what we reference some of our
Mm-hmm.
information from. It's not so much that we get our intuition, our revelation from these particular books, but it gives us language when we reference them to what we've already seen. So I'm going to put it up again, but this is not an endorsement. I'm simply giving you what I have written, what I have
And
read from.
we have seen like thousands of books
Oh
in the
gosh,
house,
Lord,
and I wish
probably
it was
more than
some way.
that.
I wish it was some way all of you could come here at one time and see the collection over 50 years that we collected of books. And very seldom do we put them down except for special occasions like this.
Yes. Now this comes in 2 or 3 volumes.
Renouncing,
They're very thick
is that
books.
the resurrection? Oh, the resurrection of Christ
It's the second
within
coming,
us.
the
It's the
resurrection of Christ
resurrection of
within
Christ
you.
within us.
Hmm.
I make me want to read that now. That sounds
Well,
real
yeah,
juicy.
you can, and I have read it several times, several
I
times.
wish it was some way I could send everybody a copy of this, but I can't do it. But I just wish I could because there are some books that we got. I'll put it like this: eat the hay and leave the sticks.
Eat the fish and spit out the bones.
You nasty, ain't you? You're a rough girl.
Exactly, exactly.
Look,
Now when you read other sacred texts, if you've been in the confines of religion, Christian religion specifically, you will hit places where you will feel the resistance come up in you and fear
yeah.
actually jump you
Mm-hmm.
that you cross the line,
Mm-hmm.
won't you?
Yeah, that's right.
You
Some
will.
of this stuff will make you hey, I'll say it like this. Some of this stuff will make you tear out your reverse going forward.
Mm-hmm. But what you must remember that when that happens, it is not God putting that fear in you. It is simply your conditionings of
The
religion
condition
that
self
is said that's going against what
that's
I've
going too
heard
far.
before. So now my mind is trying to reconcile that with what I've already heard and what I've already learned. And so now there's cognitive dissonance. There's the trying to hold the two beliefs in the mind at the same time. And it can't happen.
When we first started out dating, I didn't touch your hair hardly at all. But
Touch it.
now that we done got together and we understand each other, I can touch that old square bean up there.
And there's nothing to mess up anymore.
Yeah, you did. It wasn't nothing to mess up. Yeah, it was. It was something.
No, there's
Yeah,
nothing to mess up now.
it was long.
But you're gonna have me looking like a chicken head in a minute, the way you're mashing it. And...
it looked good. It looked good.
Oh
You
my
little
God.
rascal, you. But anyway,
Yeah.
anyway.
You do your beard. You do your beard.
Now, and you never did that because didn't have no beard much then, did it?
You did not. Well, yeah, you had mustache. And I remember, gosh, you shaved all the hair off your face.
I did.
And I felt like I was living with
Hey,
a stranger.
I shaved all the hair off my face. I looked like a baby's butt.
And I felt like I was living with a stranger. I felt some kind of way. I really did. I felt some kind of way. I don't know who this man is.
I come in like a ghost in there. I thought I looked like a baby butt.
Be like my niece Shannon, when she saw your beard shave, she cried like a baby.
Yeah, she started all over.
Because she never seen you without a beard.
I look like a broke neck chicken in the meat house.
I'll tell you.
Oh, she cried like a baby. I said, "Baby, don't cry. It'll come back." It never did come back like it was, but it's partly back there.
Yeah. So
anyway, you guys, I'm having fun with you. I appreciate you from the depths of my eternal self.
You close your book up. You're all done?
Yes, I'm done. Like Quaker Oats, 2 minutes and done.
Real.
A biscuit, a tisket, a tasket. What's inside the basket?
Okay, so so I'm gonna leave you with this: that there is nothing you can improve on except your own knowing.
Don't have to change a thing.
There is nothing else you can improve on to become more spiritual.
That's right.
You simply must improve upon your knowing.
There
That's
you
all you
go.
can do.
There
Now,
you go.
Linda says, did you ever wonder why the resurrection of Christ is not a fixed date like his birthday,
Yes.
but Easter and resurrection is a different
Yes.
date every year? Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I often wondered about that. And
Yeah.
I knew that it was not a fixed date. Most of us realized that those holidays weren't actually the days of when things really happened. But that's when we celebrated it anyway.
Listen, we appreciate you guys, and thank you for the precious gift of God that you imparted unto us tonight.
And I wanted to share some good news, and I don't think Kelly and James would mind, but James had a very good report. Whatever they were trying to get rid of, it was gone the last time they did a scan, and we are so wonderfully blessed and grateful that he is free of whatever that is that he had going on in his body. And so, woohoo, we're glad.
Thank you.
We're glad.
Thank you for the good report.
Thank you, Jill, for posting how to give. Most of you know how, and Jill has made it very easy for you in the comments section. And yes, it is awesome, Pastor Norman. It's really awesome.
It is.
When you get a report like that. And we kept saying, you need to get a scan, get another scan, get another scan.
We kept telling him, get another scan.
And when he got it,
it was
came
a clear,
back clear.
Clear bill, wasn't it?
Came back clear.
You can take it to the bank now, Brother James. You can cut a step and do the huckabuck.
Exactly. That's right.
Make John Greason stand up on the back seat or the seat of his motorcycle and do the boogie woogie.
Oh, okay. You just go on out there, don't you?
Yeah, I just have a good time. I'm a free man. What you talking about?
Yes, you are. You're very free.
Hey, I'm
very free.
I'm grown.
You're liberated.
I know how to drink my liquor straight if I'm going to drink anything at all. I don't have to put no chicks away.
We're so liberated that I think some Christians probably stumble over it.
I'm sorry. They're just going to have to put some pads on. They got to put some pads on their knees so when they stumble and fall, they won't bust them. They're got to get used to it.
Lordy,
I'm just as free as
But I tell you what, there's nothing like being free.
Yeah, tell somebody. Don't you say that too loud.
It feels so good to not feel like you
keep saying that.
Like you have to walk on tightrope.
Keep saying it.
Doesn't it? It feels good to realize you don't have to.
You keep on saying I'm gonna give you some sugar.
That's
That's the truth.
But anyway, Kelly's thanking all of us for
Kelly Lee. I thank you for the testimony, the witness.
Yes, thank you, sweetie pie.
Go tell it on the mountain.
Y'all go ahead and make heaven happy and
yes.
And we're just grateful for God, that God
James Dixon make Miss Kelly happy tonight with a rejoicing testimony of the victory of God in y'all's life.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something other than what we were already saying.
I'm saying it again. Happy birthday, Brother James. Hey.
Yeah, brother, look what Brother Greason said. John, you're a mess. He said, guess that Bo Diddley prayers work for James.
The Bo Diddley
prayers. Hopefully, them Bo Diddley prayers is working for somebody else too.
Bo Diddley prayer and bow-legged biscuits that Miss Kelly been fixing for him. Yeah, them bow-legged biscuits and then them hot pinto beans. Miss Kelly got to fix some pinto beans.
You know what? Yesterday morning, I got up and I fixed a scrambled egg. With and we put rice in it.
Yeah.
Rice in it.
Yeah. With
a little bit of teriyaki sauce.
Yeah.
And some spinach.
Woo!
And that held us all day just about.
Killer Rock record training therapies now to catch rheumatism.
All day.
All day long. All day, all night.
Oh, Lord, you want to sing. He wants to sing, y'all. He wants to sing. Oh, my
hey, this is what you call a
gosh.
life class.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep,
It
yep,
is.
yep,
It
yep,
is.
yep.
Oh, Pastor Norman's Thursday, Pastor's got an appointment with the doctor at 1:10, and we've got impromptu at 12:30. So You're going to stay on with us until you get ready to
until
go
it's
to.
time
And
to
Pastor
go.
Norman and I are going to do impromptu on Thursday.
Yep.
You hear that, Pastor Norman?
I'm
You're
gonna
going to
take
be
off down the
available.
road. Won't be but a little bit.
You'll be available, Pastor Norman. Okay. So we'll be back on Thursday at 12:30 for impromptu.
Okay. Thank you for the
Thank
gifts.
you, young
Keep
man.
us going, please, if you would, financially. We need your help. We got some things to come up with about things around the house, and I just see it like that. And we thank you for what you have done, and thank you for
Thank
what
you
you have
guys so much
sent
for
already.
what you've been
Cash
doing.
out.
And thank you for those of you who started to send your tithes and offerings back into Cornerstone.
Yeah.
And we want you to keep doing that because we really want to reserve a spot for all of us to get together. And I'm praying that we'll be able to do that soon.
I look forward to that.
As soon as Cornerstone, the entity of Cornerstone, the nonprofit of Cornerstone, can get enough funds to do that, we will set something up and of course invite you guys and announce it to you so that we can, those of us who are local, can meet together periodically. We would like to do that with you guys. If nothing else, to hug your necks and to lay a hand on you, just to bless you and see your faces. So do that. And you can also do that. Jill's already posted. I don't have to keep saying it. So you see how to do that on the screen. And thank you guys again. Pastor's already said it. Thank you guys who've been sending generously supporting Pastor and myself through Cash App and PayPal. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again. We're going to take off right here.
May the angel of blessings be in every step that you make, in every step that you take. Amen. See you on the turnaround. Okay?
Amen.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.